Hello, and welcome to another episode of For the Record. I got my own shirts finally. So on this episode, I want to talk about Slipknot's sixth studio album, We Are Not Your Kind. It was recorded at East West Studios in Hollywood, California, produced by Greg, which previously produced the Grey album, number 5, chapter 5, or whatever you want to call it. This was recorded from 2018 of November to April of 2019. This album started off with their first hit single from Unsainted, and then went from Birth of the Cruel and Nero Fort. This album, to me, honestly, when I first got this album, it blew me out of the water. Like, I was so shocked on how good this was. And this was their first album that they made with an 8-group member instead of 9, because Chris departed from the band in 2019 of March after suing the group for allegedly unpaid royalties. This album right here, I feel like, is one of their best albums that they have done in a long time. This album came on a gatefold. I remember getting this album like a week before it came out. I pre-ordered it. It actually showed up early. I'm going to actually take the whole thing out and show you guys. It's funny because there's 9 of them there, but I don't know which one is a double. Somebody's got to be a double. But it says, oh yeah, that he departed from the group on this. Well, at least that's what it says online. I try to give you guys facts and everything like that. So on this one, it says, where is it here? That this album debuted at number 1 on both the US Billboard 2000 and the UK album rock and metal singles chart, as well as several other charts throughout the world. That's pretty awesome. Whoops, I don't want to drop this. So on this one, I got this one on black vinyl. I was trying to pre-order it on like one of the special edition vinyls, which I know was going to cost a little bit more. I didn't have the money at the time. I actually had somebody else pay for this, and I paid them back for it, which was pretty cool and all, but I was kind of disappointed that I only got the black vinyl, but it is what it is. Like I said, I got it early. That's side A. That one's side B. Nero Fort. That was like one of my favorite songs on this album. Death Becomes You. Every single song on this album is amazing. If you have not listened to the brand new Slipknot album, you should definitely check it out. I give this a 10 out of a 10. And I wouldn't say that about every Slipknot album, because not every Slipknot album is my favorite. Like, I love their first 2, the self-titled, and I love the Iowa. So that one is side C. That one is side D. As you can tell, I got the inner sleeves for this. I've actually spun this album quite a bit. I probably listened to this album at least a couple hundred times since I've had this. This album right here, I feel like justifies Slipknot in a way that other albums didn't, because there was a lot of times you get a Slipknot album, and when Slipknot first came out, they were like wicked hardcore, they were badass. There's so many sounds and different things that they did to this album that kept it original to the Slipknot way that Slipknot does things, because you can go by chapter 5 and stuff, but that was more like a grieving album. That wasn't their normal Slipknot album. Like, yeah, The Devil Inside, that's a great song and everything, but it's a great album, but it's not my favorite Slipknot album, okay? Like Psychosocial from, the hell is that one there? I'm trying to think of the damn name of it. Because I don't own it on vinyl yet. It's actually on its way in the mail. On that album, to me, it's not the best. but this definitely ranks. Like, this is up there top 3 best Slipknot albums of all time. Like, they killed it on this album. This album is so good. Like, I thought this was one of the better albums to come out last year. Like, and it, to me, it just justified everything. It made me happy. I was like, finally, there's good music coming out, because, like, lately, I listen to, like, a lot of 90s music and older stuff. So when I listen to all that older stuff and then I hear newer stuff come out, like, yeah, it's good, it's cool, I'll buy it, whatever. But to me, this just brought it all back. Like, they went straight to their old roots. They did everything the way that they normally do stuff. Their percussion was on point. Corey's voice was on point. The screaming in it, the way they did their vocals, the way they did their intrusions, like, just everything about it was amazing. Like, all their songs, all their videos, everything was just straight on point with this album. I mean, I cannot stress enough on how great this album is. And yeah, okay, like, All Hope Is Gone is good, okay. Yeah, so was in Chapter 5. So was in Volume 3. I wasn't the biggest fan of Volume 3. There's a lot of people out there that will debate me on that and say that Volume 3 was such an amazing album. I can tell you that's where Slipknot started to go downhill. Like, they were still a great band and all, but they weren't how they were when they first came out, and Iowa came out after, which Iowa, to me, is an amazing album, and I love Iowa because it represents Slipknot, like, how they were when they first came out, and it's just a follow-up from their self-titled album. This one just knocks it out the fucking park. I mean, just home run all the fucking way. Like, you want to talk about a great fucking Slipknot album, and there's a lot of people out there who haven't listened to Slipknot recently because they didn't really care for their last couple albums because it wasn't their normal Slipknot shit, because Corey's in another band, some of the other band members were in other bands. I believe Jim Root was told to take time off from Stone Sour because he was in that band too, and was told to focus on Slipknot because Slipknot comes first before Stone Sour. And I heard Stone Sour's new album wasn't that great, but I haven't listened to it myself, and I try not to listen to what other people tell me. I try to listen with my own ears, my own listening ears, and judge for myself, because I don't care where the fuck didn't like the record. I try to check for myself to see if I like the record. And honestly, this was one of my favorite albums of 2019, if not my favorite album of all time. Like, yes, Tool came out with an album. That album was great. I actually went and bought that twice. Bought a copy for me and bought a copy for my boss. I owned it on CD, and then I went and bought a fucking vinyl version of it. And then one thing I did get on Record Store Day was Slipknot, All Out of Life, and Unsainted. And this is just a little 10-inch, or 7-inch actually, my bad. And this is just a great album right here. Like, it's only got 2 songs on it, but it sounds really good. I love the cover on it. It's really thick. You know, it was actually a really decent price. It was like $13 or some stupid shit like that. I'm trying to get all Slipknot's albums. I have like 2 more to get. I have this one, I have the self-titled, I have Iowa on its way, I have All Hope Is Gone on the way. The only one I need to get now is Volume 3, because I have Chapter 5. I have a special edition of that one. Surprisingly, I bought that one on eBay, and I don't think the seller knew what he had because I bought it for dirt cheap, and it was sitting there forever. And it wasn't specified what it was, but when I opened it up, it was this nice green vinyl, and I look online, there was only like 1,500 copies made and stuff like that. So I was really surprised. But I cannot stress you enough that every single song on this is great. Like, Insert Coin, when you first hear this album come on, and it has that dun 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 dun, it just has that Slipknot vibe, that Slipknot feel to it. Like, you can just tell right away. And then it goes into Unsainted, then Birth of the Cruel, and then Death Because of Death, Near a Fort, you know, Critical Darling, A Liar's Funeral. A Liar's Funeral is an amazing song. That is one of my favorite songs on this. Red Flag is amazing. What's Next? Spiders. My Pain. This album is just all the way amazing, and if you haven't checked this out, I cannot stress enough on how much you need to check this album out. If you love Slipknot the way I love Slipknot, this album is a 10 out of a 10. Yeah, it brought back Slipknot to me, like, fully. Like, now I bought tickets to go see them live this year. Unfortunately, because the whole COVID thing happened, I finally got a refund on StubHub, but they didn't give me my money back. They gave me money in my StubHub account. So now I think I got $194 to go spend on, like, whatever fucking concert I want to go see. But I'm hoping that these guys will be touring next year, because it's good all the way till the end of next year, that I can go see Slipknot live, or maybe Tool, or somebody good. But anyways, definitely check this album out. It's a 10 out of a 10. I hope you guys are staying safe. Thank you to everybody that watches my channel. Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. I love all you guys. You guys are the reason why I do this. The reason why I even started doing this. And you know, if one of these shirts is something you'd ever be interested in, message me. If not, it's cool, it's whatever. I just make them for myself right now. I got one I'm going to send out to a buddy of mine that watches this channel. You know who you are, Chris. So anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe. I know that this whole COVID thing, you know, whatever the hell it's called, is still around. I don't want to talk about it too much because I guess YouTube frowns upon it. But stay safe, wear a mask if you gotta, do whatever you gotta do to be cool, you know, calm, collective. Don't watch the media, don't listen to all the negative bullshit around you. Alright guys, stay safe, stay sane, keep it real, keep spinning that vinyl. Peace.